Good morning. It is a beautiful day. I just made myself a matcha, getting those polyphenols in. Just took my supplements, went on a walk. I'm about to do some blood chemistry right now. So we have a nice full agenda today. I need to do blood chemistry, do a little bit of meal prep. My friend's coming into town to look at a place to move in our area, so I think I might pop over and do that with her really quick. But pretty much today is just lots and lots of studying, and then getting some groceries done and meal prep done. And then hopefully we can have a chill night, and hopefully I can get some of I'm really excited. I just got this book and I'm really excited to start reading it. So hopefully I'll get to start reading some of this tonight and start chipping away and doing like a chapter a day. I had such a good time reading this morning. I've really started practicing journaling again and really journaling my prayers and just really journaling my feelings. Just journaling my feelings and just my mind, whatever's on my heart, journaling it out, writing it out just to God. And literally my aura ring, I'm telling you, like seeing my habits in real time and actually seeing how it is changing my body and the state that I'm in all throughout for the rest of the day is so crazy, and it's life-giving. It's like, it's one of those things where it's not just, I never want even for it to be that way. Like, it's not just like I check it off and do it, but it's like a seed that I plant, and it kind of blooms all day, if you will. I reap the fruit of that action all day long, and really my soul does, it's like watering my soul. And it really reminds me that, like I've been saying lately, like our whole life is our medicine. Everything that we do, the thoughts that we think, how we respond to our food, everything touches everything. And so this morning, just being quiet and still and just really opening up the windows even more. I've been just like opening up the front door, sitting out on the porch, opening the back door, like letting the light come into the house, lighting candles. It's been my favorite thing. And just having like a cozy drink and a quiet morning. Right now, we're gonna do some blood chemistry. We're gonna get some studying in. I try to do the things that are the least urgent the first in my day. Usually the most important things are usually oh my gosh, why can't I say this? Usually the things that are not urgent are very important. And a lot of times the most important things aren't necessarily very urgent. Studying doesn't necessarily, like, I don't have to do it today, but it's very important that I do that. And I do have some other things that I have to get done today, but I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna prioritize it, just like my Bible and just like my quiet time in the morning. You do it prior. Priority is really one. It's not priorities, it's priority. And you do it prior to everything else. I think that's the best one I've ever made. I added a little bit more water. I added in with the milk, and I started drinking milk again and just doing it warm. I really think it was the cold matchas that were really creating a lot of dampness in my body, just cold. When we eat warm foods, it's more, the temperature of warm foods is more optimal for our enzymes that are like, okay, don't quote me on this, but the enzymes in our food do better when food is at a warm temperature, when we're eating cooked foods, warm foods. So I've noticed like the dampness in my body, like kind of mucus, if you will, which is not a fun word to say, but really went away. It just really went away when I started just having warm drinks and warm food. So it's working. Chinese medicine, it's working. Anyway, we're gonna hang out today. We're gonna have a nice productive day.
Initially by the nucleus of a cell that makes that particular food.
For me to be somewhere for too long.
Oh my gosh, that is literally what I was just saying about digestion earlier, that I was saying the dampness in my body and just like the mucus in general has gone away as I've used only warm and cooked foods. And literally, enzymes function best under specific conditions such as optimal temperatures. So there we go. That's what I was trying to say. That is correct. And I've actually seen a difference in my digestion. I gotta give you a little update. I'm in my preconception still phase of life. And last year though, I overcame a decade-long hormonal struggle in a matter of just a couple of months, which is so crazy to think about. I just thought because I ate healthy and I worked out that my hormones were balanced. But then every single month, I was having super painful periods. And then of course, the thing that really just totally changed my life, as you know, was when I lost our first baby, when I miscarried, and my progesterone was so low. I'll never forget going into the doctors. Oh my gosh, it's like bringing up, yeah, it's such a joy though to share my story, because I know that so many of you, wow, that just really, really hit me in the heart. Sometimes I can talk about it, and sometimes it just really hits me. So I'll never forget though, I was so confused when I left the midwife's office. Like, I will never ever forget not knowing what to do. Like, I was just searching, and I was wanting to know, like, what was I supposed to do for my hormones? You know, like, I'll never forget leaving her office that day after drawing my progesterone. I remember talking to her, and I was just so confused, and I was wanting to know what to do next. What was I supposed to do? Because I didn't know what to do. I thought I was doing everything that I was supposed to be doing. And I remember she made a suggestion to me that one of her friends, she does like hair tissue analysis. And I remember thinking, okay, that's, I didn't know what to do. So that's something that I can do. That's something that's going to kind of look at my body and tell me what's going on. And from there began the journey of going back to school and becoming a practitioner again and everything like that. But it's just so crazy, because even during that year of going back to school, I really did not start to understand things until I'm learning from the doctor that I'm learning from now, and understanding that everything comes, I say this a lot, but it's because this is what changed my health, and the thing that I didn't know for the longest time, and the thing that will forever be the answer, which is our cells, which is making healthy cells. Right now, I am in my ovulatory phase. And here is something that I wish I would have known years ago. I was rereading this the other day, where this woman shared her testimony, as she said, with me about how when she drank the progesterone punch, that she started noticing really strong ovulations. And here's the thing, for years, I didn't even know what a strong ovulation was. And I wasn't even ovulating because I didn't know what to look for. And that's what right now I am in my I'm in my ovulatory phase, if you will, leading up to ovulation. And I had absolutely no idea that you were supposed to look for certain signs in your body. Like, you don't know what you don't know. And I didn't know anything about cervical mucus. I wasn't tracking my basal body temperature. I wasn't confirming ovulation every month with those signs. I didn't even know what to look for. And I certainly didn't know that just being dry down there, having no cervical mucus, it's all the body. God made everything. Like, if you have nothing in your underwear and you were dry all month long, and you're not making cervical mucus where you can see the cervical mucus, that is a huge indicator of our fertility, is our cervical, and just even if you're not trying to get pregnant, just hormonal balance in general, making cervical mucus if you are in your menstruating years. Right now, as I'm in my ovulatory phase and I can see cervical mucus, and I know that I am ovulating and I'm tracking my temperature. Before, I didn't know about cervical mucus. I didn't know to check for that. And I look back, and I wasn't ovulating because I had literally no progesterone at all. Progesterone is the result of ovulation, but also I wasn't tracking my temperature either. So I could have used those tools, like checking for cervical mucus, checking temperature, to see and read my body. But because I didn't know that I could, it's like not knowing how to read. If you don't know how to read, then you don't know how to read. I could put a book down in front of you and you would not know how to read that book. It's the exact same thing. Wow, I really like that analogy. It's the exact same thing with our body and our hormones. If you don't know how to read your body, and you don't know the signs and symptoms of the body, and you don't know how to read that, then you're not gonna know. And that's the thing, that's not our fault. This is why I talk about it, and why I'm unashamed, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna talk about cervical mucus, because those are so important. If you're trying to conceive, if you're trying to raise your progesterone, if you're trying to balance your hormones and you're having a hard time, you're gonna have a whole lot easier of a time if you know how to read your body. And then if you're aware of the problem, then you can move closer to the solution. Because if you don't know if you have a problem, how in the world are we supposed to fix a problem that we don't even know we have? That was literally me for years. I had such low progesterone and I had no idea. And then when I went to the doctor, they're like, wow, you have the lowest progesterone I've ever seen. And I didn't know. Give me like a badge or a star or a shirt, something that says build healthy cells, because that's what changed my hormones. It was never focusing on the hormones. Anyway, you already know all this because I talk about it regularly. If you don't, maybe I should keep going or just watch a lot of my other videos. But anyway, I was watching I've been rewatching all the studying with the doctor that I study under, and guess what he was talking about? And this is why I was like, oh, this is so exciting. This is so fun. He was talking about the sodium-potassium pump, which I've heard this before, but it really just stuck with me. And get this, the NaKATPas, this enzyme, the sodium-potassium pump, it's an enzyme that, let me just put it this way. If a cell does not have sodium, potassium, and magnesium, because it's the NaK, hopefully I'm not losing you, because you always love that, you always say, please don't stop talking. I'm not gonna stop talking. If the NaKATPase, this enzyme, and anytime there's ATP, there has to be magnesium. So we have to have magnesium too. That's why it's not just sodium, potassium, it's sodium, potassium, magnesium. If we don't have those minerals, those electrolytes, then the resting membrane, it is in that action of the sodium potassium pump working, where sodium comes out, potassium comes in. It's because of the sodium going out and the potassium coming in that it creates this resting membrane potential. And the resting membrane potential is what allows a cell, all the cells of our body, the cells that do something, to do that thing. Let me just give you two things. It allows the beta cells of the pancreas to release insulin. One of the things that is foundational to hormonal health is blood sugar balance. Also, it allows our enterocytes to be able to absorb what's coming in from us, food. Absorb the nutrients from our food. If the body has a sodium potassium pump on every single cell, you would think that is God telling us this is very important. Also, it's how the parietal cells make hydrochloric acid. Like, it allows our parietal cells, the sodium potassium pump, to make hydrochloric acid. Don't even get me started on how important stomach acid is. If we don't have enough stomach acid, we don't break down our nutrients. If we don't break down our protein, guess what is made of protein? Our hormones. I wish somebody would have told me, are you getting enough sodium, potassium, magnesium every day? And I would have said, no, I'm not. I don't think so. I don't know. You don't know what you don't know. There we go. Look at this. All circling back to that. You don't know what you don't know. The resting membrane potential was so mind-blowing to me today that I was like, every single cell can do what it needs to do if the sodium potassium pump and we get those, and magnesium, if we give our body those minerals, then our cells start being able to do what they need to do. That's amazing. Anyway, my favorite way to get sodium, potassium, magnesium is through literally simply adding an electrolyte packet into my drink. So if you want to make the progesterone punch, you're going to go to drinkelement.com/Cambria. That's drinklmnt.com/Cambria. I'm going to leave the link in the description box. You click that. You're going to get your delicious grapefruit flavor. That's my favorite flavor. You can get any flavor that you want. I love the grapefruit flavor, and that's what I use to make the progesterone punch. You know how you look forward to your coffee or your tea? I look forward to this every single day. So when you get your whatever flavor that you want to get, you're going to get your free sample pack so you can try out all the different flavors and figure out which one is your favorite, and then you can make your drink and build healthy cells, because everything comes down to a cell that does its job. If we want our cells to do their job, we got to do our job in giving our body the electrolytes or the minerals or the sodium, potassium, magnesium that our body cannot make itself. Our body can't make them. I always love a good healthy cell chat. You know, it's just, you can't beat it.
High or low, I would like to try to figure out what could be causing that. Let's do the low one because that's pretty easy. Now, red blood cells are always breaking down. Some reducing agents, NADPH, bilirubin reductase, and some zinc. It's looking for bilirubin, it's looking for bilirubin.
So close.
But a bilirubin is oxidative stress. Then on the other hand, what about a bilirubin TI? The unconjugated form or the conjugated?
What do we have, Chef Bo?
Ribeye steak, green beans, and beans that have
The beans from Well.
everything in it.
Beans from Well.
Yeah, beans from Well.
You made the beans zingy.
Yep.
You did. You did. You sneaker.
Told me last night in the car that you think you like spice. And I tried to do that Matthew McConaughey steak. It got away from me.
So the elusive Matthew McConaughey steak.
I think we had a way too high heat. Butter never browned because of the oil.
I'm like a hot mess over here eating my green beans.
And one time I thought I came up on some ribeye steaks, and they're actually lamb chops.
Clam chops?
Lamb chops.
Oh,
Sorry, no, they weren't lamb chops. They were pork. It was pork. They look like steaks to me. I thought it came up at the store.
I thought you said clam chops.
I told my grandpa, hey, I got some steaks. We'll cook them tonight. And he looked at it and was like, that's pork. Totally different animal.
But it's not even dark.
That tells you how much I didn't know about my meat.
You didn't.
Okay. I know.
Lettuce is so good.
I can't believe it's not lettuce, huh?
What's in it? Lettuce?
Good.
This looks, it's like a tahini.
Another night, another fight.
Oh my goodness.
Do
So
you
hot.
feel are you hurt?
No.
Maybe we should take some time. I think I tend to take you for granted, but I think
The other night when we were coming home from our little dinner hangout with our friends, we were driving on the freeway. It was like any other night. We're headed back home. We're headed north on the freeway, and out of completely nowhere. It was one of those things that you never think it's gonna happen until it just does. A car from the southbound lane literally came across the freeway and was coming head on at us, and all of a sudden flew off to the side. We pulled over, I got my phone charged, I called 911. We ended up talking to like the CHP, and anyway, they were amazing, and I don't know what happened. I share that story to say that, right, I have to set this down because my arm is just getting a little bit tired. I just cannot even find the words. It really just, my heart, the drive, there's no, I really just cannot find words. The reason though that I share that story is because it really, we've never experienced something quite like that. And it was so devastating and shocking, and reminded my heart of what I was already thinking of going into this year, that time is so precious, and that these two things that I've been thinking about, that when we scrape our leg or knee, we get a cut, the body immediately goes into the healing response. The clotting, we're constantly regenerating tissue, we're making new blood cells, we're healing, we're constantly healing. At the same time, that every single day we're getting older, we're getting gray, we're getting wrinkles. Lately, I've been thinking about that saying, that quote. I don't know who said it, but that how we spend our days is how we spend our lives. And I'd been putting it in a couple of my videos, in this video, but a couple other videos, and I've really been thinking about it. And this morning, I woke up and I've been reading through my books. Like I've been saying, I'm not, just taking a bite out of them like an apple. I'm actually like doing a chapter at a time. And the chapter that I was reading this morning, literally the author quoted that quote. He quoted that quote that I've been thinking about and using in my videos, and just something that has been really on my heart. And I'm just like, Lord, teach me to number my days that I may gain a heart of wisdom. And I just hope that no matter what, that even whether I'm sharing a healthy recipe or hormones or everything like that, ultimately, it's not about perfect health. It's not about perfect health. We're getting older, we're decaying, if you will, but we're also flourishing, and we're healing, and we're regenerating, and they're both true at the same time. Like our outward appearance is wasting away, but our inward is being renewed day by day, and there's this both and it just reminds me that we're made for another world and we have eternity that's set in our hearts. And so living this life and looking at even our little habits that are forming us or they're deforming us, I really reevaluated my habits and what I was doing this last year and what things were really good and what things were not so good, and pulling my heart and realizing that everything that we do is shaping us. And I want to be shaped for eternity. I want my days to shape my heart for eternity. Flourishing here and regenerating here, even in the dirt, this soil, a bunch of minerals and bugs and dead, decaying things, that life is formed out of that. And color and beauty and goodness come from that, come from dirt. And everything planted in God, heartache, tears, is seed. All that is seed. And when we plant it in God, we will reap with shouts of joy. Truly am so grateful to spend my life with you, and I'm so grateful that we get to do life together. I love you so much. I'm so grateful, like truly, truly, truly from the bottom of my heart. I am so grateful to be able to spend this year with you and just today with you. I'm so grateful that I got to make this video for you and spend today with you. I love you, I cherish you, and just pray that God's blessing would be upon you in your year, and he would make his face to shine upon you, and you would feel the warmth and the rays of his goodness and his love in your life. Even if you feel like your dreams are in the dirt, I hope that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that every single day is a gift, and he will make everything beautiful in his time. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.